Good morning. Good morning, Patricia. Could you tell us your name and your origin, where you're from? My name is Patricia Welinga. I'm from the ancestral peoples of Sariaco. Can you tell us what is the relationship of the indigenous peoples with Mother Earth? Its relationship of balance, its relationship of intimacy and respect. We cannot go against Mother Earth as if we were the owners, because in this habitat lives other beings that are in charge of maintaining the balance of the Earth and of the planet. We cannot go there as human beings to generate unbalance. We commit an error by thinking that the destruction of an ecosystem or of a habitat affects only the ones who live there. It affects at a global scale. It affects at a world level. That's the reason why there are so many sicknesses now. That's why the world is sick. Can you tell us from your point of view what you consider Mother Earth or Mother Nature? Mother Nature is equivalent to Mother Earth, but Pachamama is more than Mother Earth. It's life itself. Without her, no human being would be able to live. If we destroy the Pachamama, we're going to destroy ourselves. In reality, those who we're destroying is ourselves as human beings. If we destroy Pachamama, we're going to destroy ourselves at the same time, because within the Pachamama is the balance, and Pachamama is the medicine, and Pachamama is everything that we need, including when we die, we leave this body to convert ourselves into Pachamama. So when we're alive, we don't notice that we are a part of Pachamama, and including our body that we call now. We cannot destroy Pachamama, because if we do so, this is a destruction of ourselves. How do we know that? It's not very difficult. We just have to come close to nature, come close to the trees. When our wise people, when our medicine men cure people, they use these energies from the trees and from the jaguar and the eagles and all of these animals, because all of these, they are in charge of maintaining balance. So if they start to disappear, these species, then there's going to start to be an unbalanced situation. We know this from our traditions that tell us that we need to have respect for each one of these beings. If we're hunters, we cannot hunt just to hunt. We have to gather what is needed just for our needs. If we're going to make a farm or a garden, we can't make a monoculture and become predators. We have to use just what we really need, and allow the other beings to regenerate, to be able to use it again. That's the reason why in the Amazon jungle, each family has their own areas for cultivating, where we rotate our farms. We cultivate here, and then we just use what is needed, and that's the reason we have so much primary rainforest. Could you make reference to how the Western world relates to Mother Nature and how the indigenous people relate to nature, to see if one of these ways of living, it violates the rights of Mother Nature? Indigenous people relates with much respect. The Western world says, this is mine and this I can use. And that's the reason they say that the Indians are lazy. We're not. So this doesn't matter if we're talking about a lake. It doesn't matter who dies or who is affected. I'm not just talking about the death of animals or of ants. I'm talking about the animals of living beings that serve a fundamental purpose for the balance of nature. So this generates that we can dry up lakes, or that we can use pesticides to continue producing. In this context, there's a lot of violations. When an ecosystem is lost, we don't know how many species are lost. indigenous peoples are not counting this. We know this because we know that there are protective beings, that with them we need to work with them very carefully to avoid sicknesses and misfortune. Otherwise, we're going to have great disbalances that's going to have serious consequences. When we talk about the rights of nature and we go against them, we don't notice that we're going against ourselves as human beings. When an ecosystem disappears, when a jaguar disappears, or when a boa constrictor dies because of the bad smells of the oil development, or when the fish leave or the animals disappear, then who does this affect in the end? This affects human beings. These small details, the indigenous peoples have within us, they are not taken into account. And they only talk about production and to exploit resources and to bring development and to make millennium schools without knowing the context, the deep context of knowledge and the cosmovision, the worldview of indigenous peoples. So this is a very systematic process that is violating our collective rights and our habitat. So we're experts in our territory. It's not that we don't know our area or our space. We know exactly what we have and what produces there and where we should not go and where we should not be washing with soap, where we can't go with strange substances. We know of the ecosystems and the places where we never go to because our medicine people go only for special reasons. Because when we do, we see the immediate reaction or response of nature. So when we go to an ecosystem that is very, very fragile or a virgin ecosystem, this nature reacts. It produces dark rains. It's saying, wait a minute, you're not going to come here and do whatever you want. Here you have to come respectfully. These are messages that we have that are often not spoken of, that these are symbolic messages the Western world does not understand. And that's why they commit so many atrocities.